Hey, what is going on, guys? Hex Competitive back in today, and as always, in the title below will be the topic we are discussing today, which happens to be Hey to Gensou no Grimgar, and it's about Manato's death. And this really hit me. Manato's death was huge. I thought he was going to be a huge part of the story. You know, I thought all the way through they're all going to make it back, but this is a really interesting anime because it's kind of like it's constructed like a game in a way, but at the same time, it has none of those game-like feels to it necessarily. Like Sword Art Online, you pop open the menu, whenever like the food, for example, hit the ground or is it defeated an enemy, it kind of like kind of like started fizzing out and it like blew away. Just like it would in a game. But this has a gaming feel to it, but doesn't have that. I don't know really how to describe it. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about if you watch this, but Manato dies. I'm going to read this comment from a guy on episode 4. He put it in the comment section. He did it perfectly, described it perfectly, and I'm definitely going to say his name and give him props for this. So I'm going to cut this clip right here, and we're going to hop right into it. So now you guys should be back from the clip I just cut, and this guy's name is Mitro Speed, however you want to pronounce it. And this is actually a little bit long, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to read of it, but he put, "You may now have realized it by now, but we have entered a turning point in the story. What happened in this episode introduced us to the dark side, which will control the story. Death is an omnipotent thing that can happen anytime to anyone. That's what this tries to teach you." So there's a lesson this writer's trying to teach you. And for the first time, they face the consequences of their actions in the most direct way: death. Some people maybe think now, I can't feel bad for this death because we barely knew him as a character, and it happened so fast. And yes, that's somewhat the point. The show doesn't want to sell us on the death as only an incredibly sad thing. What the story also wants us to focus on is how it impacts the others, how they are emotionally affected by it, and how they develop from this experience. So this is huge in a way, especially for a story. If you want to develop a story, it's really good because now we hit them the hardest way. They don't even know where they are, really. Let's be honest, nobody knows where they are. A select few people obviously know where they are, but we don't know those people's names. But you see one of them in the first episode. But next he goes on to say, "Neither we or them knew Manato as a person, we as a viewer, and them as a team. We were on our way to get to know each other more, but with the finger snap, he's gone like that forever. It's supposed to show us and them how fast a human being can die in a blink of an eye, and because of a single mistake." Which that mistake was, they started getting good. They started developing their skills, working more as a team. They couldn't even defeat one goblin 5v1, I believe it was. I think it's, 5v1. But now they could take on 3 goblins at a time. But it also goes to show you that the stronger they get and the more they push forward, the stronger their opponents will be. Because it shows these easy killing, weak goblins that they do kill. And all of a sudden you see a huge muscular, like an ogre goblin. You see one goblin, he's blue, and he really knows how to use a crossbow. And I can't remember what the third one looks like exactly, but it just shows that they're not the ordinary goblins. They're starting to progress to the turning point of the story where they're facing stronger enemies. And now if I can find my spot back, but okay, now it goes on to say, and we see how hard his death is and how it hits him emotionally, which you will see in episode 4, because they try to bring him to this one guy. I'm not sure who he is exactly. I think it's his god technically, and he's just, "I'm sorry, you can't revive the dead." Then it goes on to say, each character reacts individually to this and will develop into a different direction. This is the first of many traumatizing things that will have to suffer. First, the act of killing, but now they face an even more traumatizing experience: the death of a human being that they have known and spent every single day with, since they've been in the world that they don't know where they are, guys. Really put that in consideration. They're having people they consider friends and or allies die, and they don't know where they are. And I know on this episode they're like all for one, or one for all for one, and they're like, why did we just say that? It sounds familiar. So you can tell they're not from this world. There's no way they're from this world. It just would not. And that building, that monumental building, really, I think, plays a role here. And that's probably all I'm really going to read from this, because And oh, actually, no, there's one more thing I want to take from this because I think he goes into what the characters are. For like Shihoru, he was the person to see her weak personality and comfort her. They emphasized on that with the scene at the start. So it's kind of, saying what kind of role he plays each character. For Yumi, he was the most caring person who looked out for others, especially Shihoru. For Haruhiro, he was the closest to a friend in this world. That's when it comes to straight friendship, they're buddies. For Ranta, well, I guess he was the one keeping him at a leash. Ranta's, yeah, for sure. For Mozgov, or Magzo, I'm sorry for pronounce this, he was another person with a rather calm personality with whom he could be at ease. So, I really don't think you can say it better than that, guys, and you need to go watch this anime. When it comes to writing and story, Heitu Jinsou no Grimgar for 2016 is literally, it was like 5th on Kiss Anime, and with that episode, it got just like 300,000 views and passed up, Erased or Boku. I can't even remember what exact. I can't remember what exact the names are, but I'll actually pull this up right now. Just here it is. All right, here we are, and I'll even read off the rankings. All right, obviously you have Heitu Jinsou no Grimgar is number 1, like I said, with over 1 million views of the first 4 episodes. Was Museijin no Phantom World. It flew past that. Boku Daki ga Ine Machi, which is also known as Erased, and it flew up the ranks. And it deserves it, because now do I think more characters will die? I'm probably going to save that for a next video. I may do a double upload today on that specifically, just because this video is getting kind of long, and that's a topic that a lot of people probably want to know. And I have a very good idea of that, because this story's been written so well as of right now. I don't think they're going to make any mistakes with what they're going to do here. So be sure to leave a like, guys, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. As always, it's been Hex Competitive. I also always say Optic Hex because I'm a big Optic fan. I just think of Hex. But be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really does help the channel. Share my videos. That also helps the channel, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.